So let me ask you something. What if there was an investment strategy out there that could offer a potential 25% return, was backed by actual real estate, and get this, had the government on your side? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, today we're going to dive into the world of Texas tax sales. And for a new investor, this could be an absolute game changer.
Look, if you're an investor, you know this feeling all too well. Trying to find a decent return these days feels impossible sometimes. The usual safe bets, they're just not paying what they used to. You kind of have to start looking in some pretty unexpected places to find anything worthwhile. And this is one of those places. This quote really nails it. Think about it. While all the big Wall Street players are fighting over the same handful of stocks, this is a market that's just completely off their radar. It's kind of like finding a secret fishing spot that only the locals know about, where all the big fish are just waiting.
But here's the big twist. What if I told you that the real money in Texas tax sales isn't actually about flipping houses? Nope. The strategy is something completely different, and it's something most people have never even heard of. So let's peel back the layers and see what's really going on here.
Okay, so here's the absolute key to understanding this. Your main goal isn't to own the property. Your main goal is to get a massive interest payout. You're basically acting like the bank, but instead of earning a tiny bit of interest, you're in line to earn a huge 25% penalty. Now, if the owner doesn't pay up, you get the collateral, which in this case is the entire property. Getting the house is just an incredibly powerful backup plan.
All right, enough with the high-level theory. Let's get down to the brass tacks and see exactly how this works with real numbers. To do that, we have got to talk about one of the most powerful rules in all of real estate investing, the Texas 25% rule.
This number is the engine that makes the whole thing run. And let me be clear, this isn't some marketing gimmick or a promise from a slick salesman. This is written directly into Texas state law. It mandates this return if the property owner redeems within that first year. It's like having the full legal weight of the state of Texas backing up your investment.
And here is where it gets really interesting. That 25%, it's not calculated on the few $100 of back taxes they owed. Oh, no. It is calculated on your entire winning bid. So, in this example, you put in $10,000. When they redeem, you don't just get your 10 grand back. You get your 10 grand back plus a cool $2,500 on top. That's a 25% return on your capital in less than a year. Seriously, go try and find another investment that can do that with this kind of security.
Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. A 25% return sounds awesome, but what's the catch, right? What's the risk? And that is absolutely the right question to ask. But the answer is going to surprise you, because this investment has a secret weapon that makes it one of the most secure plays in the entire real estate market.
Just take a second and let that sink in. Completely extinguish the mortgage. This is a concept that pretty much turns the normal real estate world completely upside down. And it is the absolute key to understanding why this is so incredibly powerful. It all boils down to this thing called lien priority. So imagine there's a line of people waiting to get paid after a house is sold. Normally, the big bank that holds the mortgage, they're right at the front of the line. But when it comes to unpaid property taxes, the government gets to cut in front of everybody. They are the ultimate VIP, and they always get paid first. And when you buy at a tax sale, you get to stand right there with them at the very front of that line.
Okay, so we've got high potential returns. We've got incredible security. It's starting to sound like the perfect investment, doesn't it? Well, before we all run out to the next auction, let's just pump the brakes for a second and separate the myths from the reality. Because like any real investment, this isn't a walk in the park.
And let's be honest, whenever we talk about buying property, the first thing that pops into our heads is big money. You see those house flipping shows and think, yeah, right, I could never afford to do that. So, is this just another one of those games that's only for the wealthy?
The answer is a huge no. You do not need a fortune. You can get in the game with as little as $1,000. And you're not just buying up worthless swampland either. We are talking about real houses, commercial buildings, valuable vacant lots, all kinds of properties. But, and this is the most important part, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Those wild stories about buying a mansion for $100, that's like winning the lottery. Real success here comes from doing your homework. And I just love this quote from a veteran in this business. I am here to tell you they do not guarantee anything. You see, the government creates the opportunity, but it is 100% up to you to do the research and make a smart decision. This is a business of expertise, not entitlement.
And that, right there, is what separates the people who succeed from the people who fail.
So, if this is a business that relies on expertise, how in the world does a new investor even stand a chance against the pros who've been doing this for decades? It seems like an impossible hill to climb, right? Well, maybe it used to be, but not anymore. The entire game is changing, and technology is leveling the playing field like never before.
You know, for years, this market has been protected by what you could call a knowledge moat. It's this massive barrier made of confusing laws, hidden public records, and all these insider secrets that kept regular folks out. It's been a private club, basically, run by a handful of people who knew how the system worked.
But today, technology is draining that moat. We're talking about platforms that use AI to sift through thousands of properties in seconds, automatically flagging the hidden risks and highlighting the golden opportunities. It's like having your own personal team of expert researchers working for you around the clock, giving you the kind of intel that used to be impossible to get.
And just look at how simple this has become. The days of spending months digging through dusty records in a courthouse basement are over. Now it's a straightforward process you can do from your kitchen table. You sign up, you browse the listings, you get instant AI-powered analysis, and then you decide if you want to take action. It's a genuine revolution in real estate investing, and it is happening right now.
So, that brings us right back to where we started. In a world where it's getting tougher and tougher to find good returns, could this be the answer? Could Texas tax sales be that unique high-yield asset that your portfolio has been missing all along? That wall of complexity is crumbling down, and the opportunity is right there for the taking. The only question left is, are you ready to go for it? Thanks for tuning in.